There's no better time to find these tremendous Mazda savings than right now at Team Mazda. Get 0% financing on any new Mazda CX-5, Mazda CX-30, Mazda CX-50, or the Mazda CX-90. Find out just how much you can save at Team Mazda on Airline.
I'm just looking over Jared's shoulder.
What you humming
I
at?
know.
I know.
I
It's,
know.
oh gosh, you know, we've been talking about Hurricane Milton seemingly for so long now. As it was just a cluster of nothing for a minute there in the Gulf, and then all of a sudden, just boom.
I mean, all of a sudden.
Well, that was the thing. What was it, Monday, Jared? We were talking about it, how quickly it went from Cat 1 to Cat 5, and the pressure started dropping. And you're like, this is not real.
Yeah, and even before that, it went from, remember, there was that yellow saying low chance, 20%, 20%, 20%, and then 20 to 80. Like, oh, okay.
It
Now
just
this is something.
proves that, I swear, this is, we're living in a different time here. The climate's just completely like, no, you think you know? No, we're going to change what you think you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was, and to have this going west to east, not unprecedented, but rare that it forms in the Gulf and travels that way. Again, not unprecedented, but rare. It's a lot to look at right now, and it makes you feel very thankful for where we are right now.
Yeah, and we really got a slow start on the hurricane season this year, and now it looks like we're kind of extending it outward with Gulf storms this late. We've seen it; it's not unheard of, but. Definitely, we're not done yet.
Yeah, your bell curve is going to be moving.
That's the way it seems. It really does seem that way.
But that's why you can't get caught off guard
So,
here.
hurricane season, what is it? Ends November 1st, November 30th?
Back in November.
Yeah, it goes through November. As far as we're concerned here, usually we're done in the middle of October. But with this season, I don't know. It might have to extend that out.
And that's the thing. I mean, we can't. It's through November for a reason, to your point. I mean, when you talk about the strongest hurricane on record, pressure-wise, in this particular basin, Wilma was a late October storm. And so, yes, we'd like to think that those cold fronts come through and protect us a little bit. The reality is, welcome to the new reality. And we just don't really know. But to think about where this thing started. How's your sister?
Yeah, she evacuated, actually. They evacuated yesterday. They made it, they went up to D.C., actually, so they're all out of there. Yeah, so they needed to. And you know, you see stories of folks that don't evacuate. I saw one of a gentleman who's going to stay on his sailboat right off the shore of Tampa.
What?
I don't get it.
Well, you heard the mayor say yesterday of Tampa, she did not mince her words. She said, you will die. If you stay here, you will die. That's what she said during that CNN interview. And you think about Florida, not only Helene just came through at the back end of September, Beryl earlier on. So you're talking about that whole left coast of Florida that is dealing with this, another hurricane here. We're still not done. And so you think about their lives and rebuilding. At what point do you say, I can't do this anymore? You know, you think about these poor people, because that becomes a lot.
Yeah, we know that all too well here in Louisiana, and this could be the thing that changes it, where folks decide that they're going to move, they're going to leave, and maybe they don't come back. Maybe they can't deal with it
We've got friends, relatives, a lot of co-workers at great facilities along the, in Florida.
Companies.
Oh my God!
No,
everybody's affected by this storm. In one way or another.
Truly have been. And so we're still thinking right now, landfall tonight into early tomorrow morning. The speed of the storm, what, 16 miles an hour? So we're hoping maybe that speeds up even more, gets through as fast as it possibly can.
Right, and dumps less rain. But right now, it still looks like it's going to be a real soaker, flooding on top of the storm surge, which is going to be really extensive. Let's go ahead and get a look. You're looking live our Skycam, which looks a lot calmer and makes you appreciative and grateful for the weather we're getting. Yeah, of course, we know what it's like to get hit with one of these beasts, which, by the way, as of the 7 a.m. update, which just came out a couple of minutes ago, now this is merely a technicality. It did get downgraded to a Category 4, but just barely, because the winds are at 155. So it's precisely 2 miles per hour below that cutoff. So it's really close. The pressure came up a little bit. That's okay. 915 millibars from the overall low of 897. That put it in the top 5 all time. Meanwhile, the NHC track, that is the official track, of course, and it still has landfall very close to a direct impact in the downtown area of Tampa. Again, they've actually been fortunate, Tampa. I know it sounds weird to say they've been fortunate, but they've been able to just barely duck a lot of these Florida Gulf Coast storms, but it doesn't look like they're going to have that kind of luck this time around. That's why some are saying this could be the worst storm that specifically Tampa has seen in 100 years, and given that track, I certainly wouldn't doubt it. Not only that, but the other thing that grabs my attention, it goes through Tampa, and then about 65 miles off to the east-northeast, that's Orlando. That's another huge population. These are big cities, Tampa and Orlando. no doubt about it. And it still makes its way through Orlando as a hurricane. Matter of fact, on the other side, going into the Atlantic side, still a Category 1. You see that evidenced here by the graph model. Now, the graph and the Euro, they actually favor our landfall in between Tampa and Sarasota. I think they might be onto something, but when the dust settles, I don't think that's going to make a significant difference between the impacts of both of these cities. And as I mentioned, right through a line of Orlando and all that area in purple, those are still hurricane force winds. Obviously no rain in our neck of the woods over the next 7 days, but here's the bad news. We've seen these colors here go from bad to worse. The other day we were saying 10 to 12 inches and we were just leaving it right there. But that little beige and white bullseye that you see right there, that's upwards of 20 inches of rain. Not only that, but you see that moving into Tampa and Orlando, that actually does not take into account any storm surge. So it's all that rain on top of the storm surge, what makes it even worse. Locally, up there it is. Okay, we did get down to 59 degrees. I knew it was going to be a close one. That is the first time we have been in the 50s since April 24th. That's 5.5 months ago. How about that? Gusts on the Euro showing the same thing. So right now, actually, the European and the graph, they do line up, and they're saying something very similar. Our local high, 89. So even though you want the extra layer this morning, you'll get rid of it later on in the day. And then in the all-important 10-day, not only was this a significant cold front, we've got an even stronger cold front. Look at the back end of this 10-day forecast. We drop lows into the mid-50s. Check this out. A couple of those days at the end, we might have highs that fail to make it out of the 70s. Now that's what we're talking about. That's that fall weather at 7:09. Johnny A., you're looking at a couple of cancellations over there?
Yeah, this is out of New Orleans Armstrong International. All direct flights to the Florida area, to the Florida airports, have been canceled. Now, all flights in Baton Rouge are on time, but when you fly out of Baton Rouge, you're going to Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, D.C. All of those connecting flights from those cities into these cities will also be canceled. So check with your airline before you head out this morning, even if you're leaving out of BTR because of all of that. Back here locally, normal morning drive, rush hour congestion starts at Range all the way through to the Baton Rouge area. Little slow traffic right there at I-10 at Essen and then I-10 at the Acadian Thruway area. There's that slow and stop and go traffic coming out of Denham Springs. That's our 4-H Club road camera looking back toward Range. And then when you get into East Baton Rouge Parish from O'Neill all the way into the 1012, light to moderate traffic and stop and go in some spots. Beautiful shot of the bridge and our drive times right now. 22 minutes coming in from Gonzales. That's not too much out of the normal of about 16. We're up to almost 40 minutes from Juban to the 1012 this morning, and another 6 will get you down toward the downtown area. And this Juban to 1012, 20 minutes from Juban to the Amy River Bridge, and then another 13 to Millerville before you see a little bit of a breakup in traffic there. 7:10, big. Our headlines this morning you might have missed. Almost called it the big extra hour. Kind of is. It's 9 News Now on the Plus, and we'll be right back.
(7:11) your time right now as we get through our Wednesday morning, and actually want to let you know that this morning in Baton Rouge, officials investigating a deadly crash.
So we're keeping our eyes on this here. We're told one person is dead, one person was injured here. This happened a PQ lane not far from Highland. We're told the coroner was called out to that scene, but as for what led up to that crash, well, we've reached out to first responders to figure out what their investigation will tell them. In the meantime, we're also keeping our eyes on Milton.
Yeah, this is that. Sorry. So this is exactly right. I jumped over Milton. We had talked a lot about it, and here we are with that investigation, PQ in Highland. We'll keep you in the know. Another investigation going on as well. There's Okay, so there's more Milton. And again, yeah, we're getting ready for Hurricane Milton.
Because this is just some of the damage from Helene.
That's Helene.
You see some of the debris?
Yeah,
you've got the governor there, Ron DeSantis, who actually asked all of the landfills and places to stay open overnight to collect that debris so they don't become projectiles. When we talk about Milton making landfall, overnight tonight, late Wednesday into Thursday morning.
Yeah. So we'll keep you in the know there. So this as well, another investigation going on. You know where the Formosa Plastics plant is, North Baton Rouge? They had an ammonia incident yesterday, Liz. 4 people,
we're told, were exposed to ammonia here. We're told 2 people, well, they're in pretty bad shape this morning. As we get the latest on this investigation, we're told that actually a cylinder issue there at the plant is to blame. But as for the investigation into how this could have been prevented or what exactly happened, we'll let you know.
I want to let you know that right now you got family and friends looking for somebody missing in East Baton Rouge. Marcus Spears, 55-year-old, he's actually an employee of the EBR school district.
So have a good look here. Do you think he looks familiar to you? This is actually reported by the Addis Police Department, but BRPD also working this investigation because they say that his white Lexus sedan was actually found on Avenue K in Scotlandville. We're told 30 minutes from his home. They actually reported him as a missing person when he didn't show up for work Monday, so please have a good look here. If you think you've seen him or know where he may be, it is a call to BRPD.
The social media app, TikTok, it's got a bullseye on it recently, and it's got another lawsuit coming at it from 12 states, including Louisiana.
Joining about 11 other states here, along with Mississippi, to talk about, to talk about the safety protocols for children who use the app there. So we're expecting to get the latest update from Attorney General Liz Murrill today. That's when they actually plan on filing here in Louisiana. Right. All the states are going to file separately because they're going to try it differently. We'll keep you updated on that and let you know.
Hey, real quick before we let you go, they're getting together, the folks are St. George Charter Commission. They're going to be at the fire department a little bit later on today. They're at City Hall, so to speak, at this point, getting you updated on the very latest if you want to be a part of that. Again, that meeting is 5:30 to 7:30, City Hall, Airline Highway. And then getting you back into our little part of the world here as well, still focused to our east.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to be tracking that storm right on through the evening. Looks like landfall is going to be very late tonight into the early morning hours tomorrow.
We'll keep our eyes on that all morning long, all day long. Come back and join us for another check of weather and traffic in 10.
It's time to gear up for game day at Team Toyota. Right now, get a new 24 Tacoma for just $269 a month, or get 2.99% financing for 72 months on a new Toyota Tundra. Score thousands in savings on your new Toyota from Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.